Have you ever looked in the mirror and wished you could turn back time? Well, I know I have. And anti-aging is something that we're constantly battling as women and as men. And today I have with me Con from Plunkett, and you're going to talk to us about how Vita E can be used as an anti-aging product.
Vitamin E is a very, very important vitamin, as are many vitamins, and they can make a significant difference to our skin. And it's important when we're talking about vitamins to make sure that the active ingredients are a high potency at therapeutic levels, and it's also important to make sure, if we can, that the vitamin E ingredient is natural, because that's much more potent than synthetic vitamin E's.
Yeah, that sounds really good. So how is an ingredient active as compared to a non-active?
It's really the levels of the ingredient in the formulation that's going to determine whether it's going to make a difference, or it's just really what we call a label claim. It's on there because it's on the label, but we want to make sure the international units, which are the standard that tell us how much of the vitamin E is actually in the cream, that's what we want to do to measure the potency of the vitamin E we're applying on our skin.
Right, well I want something that's highly potent, and what would I do?
Our skin suffers oxidization, just like metal rusts, and you know metal that looks rusty looks old, ready for the dump. Well, our skin also suffers oxidization, and vitamin E has a powerful ability to resist that oxidization, which prematurely ages the skin, makes it look twice as old as it is.
Yeah, great. I don't want to look like an old rusty car. How do I get vitamin E into my skin? How do I, treat that?
So we can use a cream, we can use a high potency oil, or we can use an ointment. So there's various ways of applying vitamin E to our skin. If we're using a cream, we might see that as an application that we would use morning and night to use on our face to get broad application. If we're using a high potency oil, that's good for those areas of expression lines and crow's feet around the eyes,
we all have a few of
where
those.
you need that extra help. And an ointment can be good for those tough areas of dry or irritated skin that just needs that extra help. So there are three ways that we can deliver high potency vitamin E that can act as an antioxidant. So that's what stops the aging process.
Yeah, great.
It also improves our skin's elasticity and suppleness, because it replaces the lost moisture in our skin. And transepidermal water loss, which is a technical term,
it sounds very technical,
just means that unfortunately, because we're using soaps and detergents too much, we are allowing a lot of water loss through the skin, and that leads to basically dehydration. And so vitamin E can replenish those lost oils in the skin and improve the skin's protective barrier, and the result is the skin stays soft, supple, smooth and young, and we can prevent that aging process or even turn back the clock.
Gosh, I'm really beginning to get my head around vitamin E. It's such a potent and powerful ingredient.
And you know, if you combine that with rosehip oil, which contains vitamins A and C, together you get boosting of the antioxidant action. Vitamin A also stimulates the collagen in the skin, and the collagen is what keeps the skin plump and supple and looking young. You get a much better outcome using those ingredients together. And the other thing is, it's important to look for the things that shouldn't be in the skincare, things like colours and fragrances and fillers like parabens. If we can avoid those, we get a much better result without introducing other irritating ingredients in the formulation. I think that's important as well.
I need to get some vitamin E into my skin ASAP.